mean, there's a big fat buy order sitting on Coinbase right now at 51,760. I'm looking at 250, 260 Bitcoin. There it goes. I'm not sure which way we're going there. That was a big fat buy order. So I think we're probably going to crab for a little while here. Yeah, this is 200 Bitcoin. $51,700 something. 51,760. See, if whoever buys that bought that and took it off the exchange, that would help drive the price up. But what happens is people buy it and then they just want to sell it for more than they bought it for. And so it just goes, there's the buy happens and capital leaves bid side and you increase ask side. So that's what you see happening as the bid sum declines. It's because people are actually getting stuck with the Bitcoin because they have lowball buy orders sitting on the exchange that they forget to close, and then the market moves suddenly, and you hear about Coinbase crashing and people can't log on when there's these big things. It's may or may not be some trickery afoot. Who knows? It's tough to say. I know there's been times where, like, people say that the market is crashing and everybody's locked out, but I know a few people that were logged in and actively trading when the supposed big issue happened. So I don't know. Maybe it's just whoever's already connected, their connection stays connected, and not everybody can connect at the same time. So when you have this big inflow of people, because everybody's got their alert sets, they're not watching, they're just waiting for their price alerts to tell them when to log in and look. Everybody gets those price alerts, tries to log in at the same time, bogs down the network. Another thing, you got like PayPal and Robinhood and Webull and whatever other these apps that are claiming to now sell Bitcoin, but they're lying to you. And the reason that I say that is because not your keys, not your coins. If you can't transfer your Bitcoin to a Bitcoin wallet, you don't own Bitcoin. So when you buy Bitcoin on, say, Robinhood or PayPal, you're really just speculating on the price anyway, because you can't do anything with your Bitcoin at that point. It's not yours. Apex is holding it for you, and you can't move it to your own wallet. All you can do is sell it back to them. So it's like, it sort of defeats the whole purpose. The whole point was, when I buy Bitcoin on an exchange, I can move it to my own wallet, and then if the exchange goes down, as long as the Bitcoin network is still up, I can still access my funds, I can still move those funds. I don't have anybody telling me how much I can move or when I'm allowed to move it or how long the transaction's going to take to clear. It's all, it's all part of the network, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You can see, you can go on Block Explorer and see it virtually instantly. Yeah, it takes, a little while for confirmations and whatnot. But ultimately, you can settle a transaction instantly, because once you send that Bitcoin, even though it's not confirmed, you can't reverse that transaction. It's the beautiful part about an immutable ledger. People worry about the privacy issue. You don't know how to use coin controls. You don't know how to use an actual Bitcoin wallet. That's why you're worried about that. I guess that's the other big problem for Bitcoin, is nobody actually knows how to use it. They don't know what it's really for, how it really works, the design, the purpose. It's brilliantly designed. An immutable public ledger where your address is public, but your identity is not. And for somebody to track transactions through the blockchain, yeah, it's doable. But I mean, why would you? What gain is there in doing that? You want to see how much money somebody has. Does it matter? What are you going to do with that information? Is that information even relevant? And if you know how to use, if you really know how to use Bitcoin wallets and Bitcoin software, you can easily spread things out in such a way that nobody would be able to really know how much Bitcoin you're actually in control of. Another thing I love pointing out to people, is the fact that you can't walk into a bank and make $100,000 withdrawal. They're not going to hand you cash over the counter. You need written permission. You need to tell them where it's going. All this fun stuff. Even if it's your money, even if you hold that balance at that bank, you can't just walk in and access your funds, which seems ludicrous. But there it is. Most people can't even test this theory because they don't have 60, 70, 80, $100,000 sitting in the bank. I mean, some people do, but go ahead. If you've got, $100,000 sitting in a bank, you probably don't have more than that because FDIC, right? But anybody anybody that is able to accumulate that kind of capital is, smart enough to know what to do with it. But yeah, I mean, if you did have, just say, over $100,000 in the bank, and you wanted to make a $60,000 withdrawal, there's a process. It's not as simple as just walking in the bank, filling out a withdrawal slip and getting cash over the counter. They won't do it. Bitcoin, you don't have that problem. You can have $100 billion in Bitcoin and move 20 billion, 60 billion, 100,000, 50 million, whatever you want. Any amount to anyone, anywhere, anytime,